Solving crimes and arresting criminals is what's expected of any police force. It's the side of the job that catches the public eye and provides chief constables with those impressive statistics they're always eager to quote. But 9/10 of police work is more mundane, with the emphasis on preventing trouble before it happens. In Hong Kong, that can be anything from traffic jams to riots. And when public safety's at stake, what counts is how you handle the unexpected when it takes you by surprise.
Okay, let's go.
There's been a spate of bomb scares in the colony recently, 13 in 2 weeks. No pattern and very few clues. Most of them have been hoaxes, but the police can't afford to take any chances. This is yet another one. The manager of a cinema has received an anonymous phone call. The CID were first on the scene, but Uniform Branch are here to help them with the legwork.
Yeah. I want all the entrance guarded.
All the entrances?
Yes. Okay. All right? I only got 4 PC. I want your man to guard all the entrances to stop people coming in.
Okay, fine.
All right?
That's it.
I've got to ask one more car.
How many big PCs have you got here? 4. 4, right. Position them on the entrances right now. Okay, nobody to come in. People to leave. There's a bomb threat in this cinema.
Some time back, there was a similar incident happened on the top floor, you see. Yeah. So I don't think that is...
All right, well, in which case, we'll just have a look around anyway. We won't have everybody out.
A bomb threat's a psychological trap for the police. They know that if it's a hoax, then the aim is to cause as much disruption as possible. Then again, if it's for real, they must find the device. The line between disruption and efficiency is fine. For the culprit, it's a kind of heads I win, tails you lose bet.
It's got all the hallmarks of a false alarm. Somebody playing silly suds on the telephone, that's all.
But can you afford to gamble?
With the number of calls we've had like this, I think, yes. It's difficult to make a decision like that. This might be the call that's real. It might go bang right now. We don't know. It's all a gamble.
Something's just exploded. Don't go too close. Sonny, something has just exploded.
It's a fire on a boat in a crowded typhoon shelter. Marine police are there together with the fire brigade, and their first task is to keep everyone else well away. At this stage, the officer in charge doesn't know that this burning boat will become a nightmare for him.
I would never have believed, knowing what this typhoon shelter's like, that we could have ever cleared a space this size in the middle of it. Somebody must have done a lot of bullying.
The boat people don't need any bullying when there's the threat of fire. With entire families living cheek by jowl on wooden-hulled vessels, they're well aware of the danger. Hong Kong's typhoon shelters are floating villages for thousands. A serious fire in their midst would be an unthinkable catastrophe. This one must be dealt with quickly and efficiently before it escalates, and already there are complications.
I understand from the fire brigade that the stuff is in fact self-igniting, spontaneous combustion. It's never actually burst into flame. It's been smoking rather like that all morning. The fire brigade have filled it up with foam, which hasn't completely put it out. They're scared at the moment the thing will sink. If it sinks, then we'll have these drums floating all over the harbour. So the immediate emergency now is to get the thing out of the crowded area of the typhoon shelter and get it out to a quiet area where they can either let it burn out or try and sort of put it out in their own way. We're going to tow it up to a typhoon anchorage, which is well away from any built-up areas, well away from any areas of population, and then it can just smoke itself out, or the fire brigade will make obviously some effort to get them to discharge the cargo. Look at that sodding smoke.
It's been established that the cargo on fire is 1,000-gallon drums of chemicals which ignite spontaneously in contact with water. And it's impossible to ignore the fumes given off, since they're having the same effect as tear gas. The government chemist is no comfort.
Well, it's mainly a corrosive action, but they are toxic in themselves. But mainly corrosive action, because in the presence of water you're going to get sulfurous acid and sulfuric acid, which is what's going to do the damage to the tissues.
But if I inhale those fumes right now, and I inhale enough of them, am I going to burn my lungs?
Right, you're going to die, yes, eventually.
So now we know that in comical formation, the police launch is leading the fire brigade, leading the harbour tug, towing a burning boat which is belching toxic fumes all round the harbour. The threat of fire has changed to that of asphyxiation.
That's it, 5250.
Marine Police's misfortune is emergency units' gain. It's a stroke of luck for them when they almost run into a wanted car.
I don't know, I heard it come over the air, all cars. Out, sunshine.
Oh?
The case was a suspected kidnapping in Wong Tai Sin, and this was the car that was used to transport the people. He picked them up. That was all. He was operating as a taxi. You get in, get in. I want him to move his car over to the side. Look, we've got a traffic jam. Get in, get in. Where is it? Paul, I'm going to move this one over. Yeah.
Marine Police's problems are increasing.
Wait, Tim, go out!
The bow waves from passing ferries look like sinking the burning boat. It's already dangerously low in the water, and if it does sink, it may leave smouldering chemicals floating all round the harbour. The problem's getting trickier by the minute, so it's time for a council at sea.
Afternoon. I don't think we should take this to Rambler Channel, Mr. Joe. I don't think, in all honesty, we can take this thing up to Rambler Channel with that smoke coming out of it. It's very bloody toxic. I've been downwind of it. Yeah. Yeah.
As the level of pollution rises, so do the tempers.
What do you want? You know? What the intent is just to put you somewhere, you know, live in the boat.
Well, beaches, yeah, I just can't go on beach boats anywhere, you know, and particularly it's got dangerous.
Well, I don't think it should go in around the channel.
All right, well, let me know where you want it, and we'll see what we can do.
Well, I suggest we try and get it down here
Well, it's
somewhere.
going to take us half a day to get down there, you know.
Well, that's the only safe thing. If we leave it up there, it's not safe.
And what's your answer to the toxicity? Are you just going to let it burn out, or...?
Rather than trying to get it beached in, trying to see if we can unload some of it, I can't see what else we can do. We can't do it while it's floating around here.
Swing up there. At the same time, get the fire floating. Last thing, I'm worried about any change of the wind which is taken across the container terminal.
Well, how long, what period of time are you talking about as far as getting the thing burning out, you know? Yes, I know. Well, how long are you talking?
Depends how quickly the water gets
Well,
to
no,
it.
well, my original instruction was to get it out of the RT Typhoon shop, which has been done. Surely the west side of Chingy Island is as good as anywhere. There's no habitation there at all.
They've started building there on the new dockyards. There's a lot of people around.
Well, I know, but dockyards are here, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're
starting working all the way down there.
We've got to get something sorted out, because this is obviously becoming slightly more than a small fire in the Yarmouth typhoon shop. But also, a lot of people have been breathing these fumes, so there might be need for medical advice.
There may well be.
Well, we better get it sorted out. You say the fellows on Marine 51 aren't
Well, can you catch them up now, David, and tell them to go up the west coast? I'll get on my line.
Well, yes, you can carry on that way, but we want a man with breathing apparatus
Yeah,
to get the steering gear lashed over before they stop it yawing around.
So, can you do that?
But I've got to go back to Yarmouth to pick kids up, you know?
Okay, you carry on.
The responsibility has been placed firmly on Inspector Surratt's shoulders. He must decide what's to be done with this floating phantom, which apparently can't be extinguished and now looks like choking half the colony. On Chung Chau Island, in a remote corner of the colony, the police face a different problem, but one they're familiar with. Every year, people come from all over to witness what's known as the Bun Festival, a sort of Chinese fertility ritual that goes back centuries. It starts as a noisy carnival with the usual lions and gongs, which on the surface seem harmless enough. But the police are present in saturation numbers for good reason. It's no secret that in fact the Bun Festival is a triad jamboree, an excuse for rival societies to openly flaunt their colours in the presence of some of the colony's leading citizens.
The fellows in the green badges are the good guys.
The first lion.
Yeah.
The one wearing the Panama hat and the yellow Hawaiian shirt with a camera, who's milling with the crowd, in fact, is Triad Society Bureau, part of the CID, part of the police force. So he's keeping an eye on the triad elements in the crowd that are involved in this particular ceremony.
Although loaded with sinister symbolism, it's all very quaint and colourful at this stage. But if past experience is any guide, there's sure to be trouble before the day's over.
It's going to affect somebody. All we can hope is the wind will change to the east. If we take it to Chingy, it's just going to come straight over the hill, right on the top of the village, on the top of the petrol refinery. If we take it to Gao Yi Chao, it's going to spread all over the West Lama Channel, but possibly may affect Hong Kong Island. I think we should go to Gao Yi Chao, and Mr. Daly agreed. I can't think of anywhere else we can take it.
The rate they're going, we never make it out there.
No. Right. Chingy Saibina.
Inspector Surratt's problem is to find a quiet corner of the colony where he can safely beach the vessel and hope that it will eventually burn itself out without affecting anyone.
Would you please alert Kwai Chung and the container terminal that these fumes will drift ashore? It doesn't matter which way we go, we are going to affect somebody, so we'll go the shortest and quickest way. Over.
You're going through Ramble Channel, is that correct? Over.
Roger, that's the shortest route to the place I have in mind at the moment. It may be that when we get there, we will find that it's not suitable. And we will then reassess the situation. Over.
You're Roger, sir. Over and out.
That damn stuff is saying, what are the... danger. There's no rocks in the approach here. Nothing to stop the tugboat getting in. And they can just shoot. Oh, it'll be covered at high tide. The stuff's all going to float away, isn't it? I'm not happy about this at all, quite frankly. It's not putting it anywhere where people, people know that the stuff's laying here and it's potentially dangerous. Well, I'm not even happy about putting it here, quite frankly. Marine Control PL7, over.
No, I'm right here, sir.
Controller, please, over.
Right. What's 7, cruise control station.
SDI Harbour. I've surveyed the west coast of Qingyi. There's too much work going on for the new shipyards. It's too close to the village. Too many picnickers. This thing has got to be kept well away from any type of civilization. I'm now, together with the government chemist, suggesting that we take it to the little bay on the east side of Gaoyichao. Gaoyichao being the island halfway between Hong Kong and Cheung Chau. I recommend, together with government chemists, we take it to the little bay on the east side of Gaoyichao. He agrees with me. Will you clear this with DDPC, please, urgently?
At the Bun Festival, as the afternoon progresses and rival gangs try to match each other's machismo, the tension is rising as it always does. The police have brought in specially for the occasion men from their tactical unit, a squad of tough anti-riot troops not particularly renowned for their tact. But they won't have much to do until later this evening, for it's at midnight that the biggest bun fight in the world begins. Hundreds of triads will claw their way up these 40-foot towers to collect the buns which cover them. Hong Kong's triads are closely connected with martial arts clubs, as crooks in the West were with boxing in the 30s. In the past, intense rivalry has led to fights, deaths, and even disasters, with faulty towers collapsing on the crowds. In a town where Kung Fu and the spirit of Bruce Lee reign supreme, it's hardly surprising that fighting is a routine emergency unit call. Unpredictable but familiar ground for the police.
He's only towing at 3.5 to 4 knots against the 3.5 to 4 knot tide.
Towing at 4 knots against a 4 knot tide means bobbing up and down on the same spot. And there's another problem. For the first time, the fire has burst into flame. It might now burn a hole through the wooden hull, sink the boat, and leave the cargo floating around. The fates are working against Inspector Surratt.
What's the danger of explosion, Bryce? That's all right. None at all. Better let the bloody thing burn out, surely. Marine Control, PL26, over. Under the circumstances, I'm seriously considering that the answer to this is to tow the vessel outside the southern boundary and sink it by either gunfire or ramming or some way of getting rid of it. On the scene, I know the position. This is not as silly as it sounds. I would like you to get the DPC or the DDPC, pass this message to them that I consider the circumstances warrant disposing of this vessel outside Conley waters by small arms fire or possibly with the assistance of the Royal Navy. I would like a reply to that urgently. Over.
He wants to know what is the opinion of the fire services in relation to this matter. Over.
Fire services and Marine Department are of the same opinion. Over.
Stand by.
Fire brigade. I'm for sinking it, quite frankly, getting rid of it. Would you have any objection? As far as you're concerned, as long as it's got out of the way, yeah. We'll just machine gun it, get one of the big, or even get the Navy to sink the damn thing. You wouldn't have any objection. I mean, we can be arsing around here for the rest of the day. Might be better now the water's calmed down. Controller, please.
Controller on set 10.
Bruce, my original request about sinking still stands, but we're going to have one try at beaching it, as the tide has just changed and the seas are settled down a bit. We're going to have a try at running into the beach at Gao Yi Chao now. Over.
Yeah, the DPC was on the phone as you radioed earlier. I don't think he quite understood the situation. I think he was of the opinion we were going to sink a large boat.
With the change of tide and a drop in the wind, Inspector Sirrett's headache is finally beached. It's been 10 hours since the police first answered that call to the typhoon shelter. Complaints about fumes have been coming in all day, but the danger of fire had been averted. And a frustrated fire brigade, which had spent most of the day practicing restraint, was finally unleashed. There wasn't much left to self-ignite anyway.
Be careful, watch where you're walking, there's a snake loose inside somewhere.
The snake is now go down.
Into the alleyway?
Yeah.
Right. The snake was seen going outside the kitchen window. She chucked a saucer at it, and it's gone out the kitchen window, down into the alley. We're on the first floor, so the chances are it's dropped onto the floor. What sort of snake it is, we don't know. The alleyway is full of nooks, crannies. It could have gone any one of a million different places. I've been to snake calls here before. There's a snake shop just around the corner over there. And during winter, snake is a delicacy amongst the Chinese. Snake and chrysanthemum soup is one of them.
At the Bun Festival, the high point of the day is approaching.
Right, gentlemen, this evening, following the procession this afternoon, we have the Buns Scramble. As you are aware, these towers and the buns on them have been donated by various triad societies, and there will be some competition to secure the top buns from each of the towers. You will find that the climbing teams may well carry a bag over their shoulder, and into this bag they will drop the various buns as they scale the tower. When this bag is full, they have the habit of dropping it to waiting colleagues at the bottom of the towers. At this point, there may be a scuffle or two, because if a bag dropped by one of the opposing triad groups is grabbed by the opposite side, then there's likely to be a struggle for possession of that bag. So the duties who are deployed around here must remember that don't keep their eyes towards the top of the towers, but also watch in between the towers for any fights that may break out.
Traditionally, the scramble up the towers will begin when a priest who's consulted the stars decides that the moment is right. In fact, he takes his orders from the police, who are not interested in orchestrating atmospheres. If there's going to be trouble, they want to know when. So 12 o'clock is the agreed time. They're off. The buns are considered lucky, and the ones at the top are the luckiest. The aim is to grab as much good luck as you can.
and he's put his bottom teeth through his lip. That's the injured person found. Arrested for indecent assault. Now, one thing I must tell you of, it is an offence to give false information to the police. Do you still want to give us this address? Yes. Okay, let's put him in the Land Rover. Keep a hold on him. Don't let him go.
There were a few cracked heads and a few arrests, but the police believed that this year the two main triad societies had agreed on a truce. Everyone heaved a sigh of relief.
I don't want the people inside to see. Come on, Bob.
The police have arrested two boys for stealing speedometers from motorbikes.
Come here. Come on. Where's these 3 meters that he's got?
The mastermind behind the thefts is alleged to be this 12-year-old schoolboy. He says it was all a joke.
He's just joking.
He's just joking.
To his friend.
I'll tell you one thing. You know what your joke has done? Well, your two friends have just been caught stealing a meter from a bicycle. You think it's funny?
It's very funny.
You still think it's very funny? Well, what do you think? His heartbeat hasn't gone. Think there's anything new? I think it's a joke. Yeah. You make jokes like this again, and you're going to get policemen walking into your house at 1 o'clock every morning.
His mother paying him, give him a bullet.